Hey everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks. And guess what? It's Stats Day. This is our wrap up for 2024. So let's dive in. Just a reminder that all of this information is courtesy of the Outer Banks Association of Realtors, single family residential, and this runs through December 31st, 2024. All right, disclaimers aside, let's dive in. So the first thing that we check every month is we take a look at how we're doing unit sales and how we ended up the year. So overall, 2024 ended up about 2.4% unit-wise above 2023. So we were up a little bit. But I don't know if you remember, November over November was down substantially, but now December over December ended up about 22% up. So we sort of made up a little bit of that difference. All of that to say we ended up the year slightly ahead as far as units go. Inventory. Let's talk a little bit about inventory. So new listing inventory, that's really what we've been keeping our eye on because that sort of tells us what's coming on the market. That was up 20.2% in 2024 versus 2023. So we've talked about it all year, but we definitely had more inventory coming on the market this year. And if you go back and think about the unit sales being just up slightly, we can see that the inventory amount is growing. Of those new properties that came on the market in December, about 22.5% of those have already sold or gone under contract. New listings from November were actually down about 37.3%. So not a lot came on the market in December itself, but December over December, they were still up about 2.3% from last year. So all of that to say, we've definitely seen a lot of new inventory come on the market. Pricing. So how does all of this information with units and new inventory translate into pricing? So for the whole year, we did end up about 4% up over last year. So our median residential sale price for 2024 ended up at $705,000. And that, like I said, that was up about 4% from 23. I just want to take a minute though, because I don't want the headline from this to be that the median residential sale price is up 4%. Remember, that is over an entire year. And so I did a little bit of a deeper dive in and took a look month by month, and October, November, and December, the median sold price for those months was down from last year. And overall of the 12 months in 2024, 5 of 12 months had a lower median sale price. So we really need to watch this trend because all of Q4 was down over Q4 last year. And if that continues forward into January, we're going to see that downward pressure on pricing. So I just don't want you to take away, hey, median sale price is up. Well, it was, but the trend may be different. Okay, so that's my little aside on sale price. Interestingly, remember 705 I said for the sold price, the under contract properties, the list price median is $730,000. Okay, so that's about a $25,000 gap in those, the sold versus the list. For actives, it's $799. So therein lies the discrepancy between buyer and seller expectations right now. We've got a pretty big delta, $799 to $705, between where properties are selling and what people are asking for them. So we need to really watch that data. We stayed pretty consistent. The median sold to list price ratio stayed at 97.2%, which was down slightly from 2023 at 97.6, but nothing substantial. 2024, we had 28.1% cash buyers versus 25.6 in 2023. Price reductions. So how are all of this inventory and units and pricing, how is that relating to the reductions that are needed to get properties sold? So for 2024, 38% of the properties that sold needed to do at least one price reduction before they sold. The average price reduction ranges about 7%. between the price reduction and getting it sold. Of the under contract properties, 46% have done a price reduction. And of the actives, 43% have done a price reduction. So we are getting to the situation where price reductions are absolutely becoming a factor in the market. Especially if you don't price right out of the chute, you're going to be chasing the market, doing those price reductions to get to the right range. Multiple offers. So we know multiple offers are there because they still happen, not as frequently as they used to. We're sitting at about 16.2% had multiple offers or disclosed that they had multiple offers. And that was down from about 21.7% in 2023. So that just goes to show you the market's going to respond. And when you price it appropriately and you get that interest, those multiple offers are still happening. Closing cost concessions. So we ended the year at just under 50% of the properties that sold had some sort of closing cost concession. So that's tending to be, the norm versus the exception. And that was up from about 45.6% in 2023. Finally, how is this all tracking into how long it's taking properties to sell? So for 2024, the average days on market ended at 54, and that was up from 50 in 2023. So basically things are taking about 8% longer to sell. And for the active properties, right now, the average days on market is 116. So that's over double what the solds are. So if you miss the mark, you are just sitting on the market. My summary for the market right now, what we're seeing is that there doesn't seem to be any sort of urgency or impetus for buyers to jump in. They're still around, they're still looking at property, they're still circling, but there's nothing that's pushing them to dive in. The rental numbers have been lower than other years. The interest rates continue to be at a higher level than people like. So there's nothing really pushing them. So that is why it's very important, if you are selling and you're ready to sell, get that property priced right out of the chute so that you can make sure that the buyers that aren't being sleepy are jumping on your property. Anyway, as always, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss any updates. And I hope you have a great day.